I see the future Martin Luther dreamt when he was a man. I feel the love my mama fought for, see the scars on her hands. Go tell them that it ain't no looking back now, no Lord, as far as I ran. So take these chains or give me death, either way we coming again.
My name is Nate Parker. I am the writer, director, one of the producers, and the star of the film, The Birth of a Nation, the story about Nat Turner, who was an enslaved man and preacher who in 1831 led one of the most successful slave revolts in American history. The main thing that really motivated me to want an Inspired By album is I wanted to make sure that young people had a way in, that not only did we have a film that they could see that could teach them about an American hero, but they had some type of connection to people they looked up to with respect to artists that could also tell them that it was important. Really it was about, asking myself, how can I get the younger generation involved in this movement to really deal with systemic crisis in this country with respect to racism. I personally believe that Nat Turner lives in all of us. Anyone that has ever stood up against injustice has a bit of Nat Turner in them. And I feel like musicians in particular, just the path toward being an artist and being successful or, striving for success, it takes something inside of you that you have to be a bit of a rebel. I just feel really, really blessed that we were able to get the artists that we did. And I want this Inspired By album to be as honest as possible. So we didn't go with what some might call the typical artist. We went for artists, we went for 2 Chainz, we went for Gucci, we went for Wayne, because guess what? They have something to say too. The artists would ask me, are you sure you want me for a project like this? And I'd have to tell them, I was like, no, like, it's critical we have you. You have the streets, you have the young people. If we play this film and it does well with 30-year-olds and up, and we win awards and we make a lot of money, it doesn't really serve us if a 15-year-old kid in Decatur or a 16-year-old kid in Brooklyn or 12-year-old kid in Oakland have no idea the movie's happening. I didn't get into this business for awards. And I think as artists we have to remind ourselves that the art is the art. It's like art never promised you that it would make you successful. It just promises that it'll make you feel like you created something that needs to exist. And I can say that about this film. I remember, before we sold the film, I thought, hey, well, worst case scenario, I'll put it on YouTube. People see it. It's gonna get seen by somebody. So the fact that we're here and we're really like offering it to the world and under these circumstances where people are so excited about it, and that we have a complimentary album that's chock full of artists that are really have an understanding of the message and understanding of the importance. You couldn't ask for a better situation. The reality is, the film is it's not only important because it deals with how to face injustice in your community. It's also a love story. It's also entertaining. But I think that at the core of it, it's asking us, what are we willing to do to face the injustices we see every day in our communities? Because I honestly believe that, in 1831, when this rebellion happened, there were a lot of people that felt kind of helpless to the system that they were in. They didn't create it, and they wanted to survive, so they kind of allowed their cognitive dissonance to separate them from that feeling that should have told them to stand up. But Nat Turner stood, and he did so for all of our freedom. And I think that he deserves, and just like every American hero, deserves us to add to the narrative, to use whatever our occupation is, whether it be a filmmaker, whether it be an artist, a musical artist, whether it be, a producer or a rapper or a singer or a journalist or a cameraman, whoever it is, we're called to use our respective occupations to really change the conversation in this country, and leave an inheritance for our children and our children's children that is something that's favorable that we'll be proud of. I'm definitely proud of what all of these artists did. The thing for me was to make sure the energy that I was feeling from the artists was the same energy that we used when we made the film. Energy that was led by love, an energy that was humble, an energy that was honest and authentic, and selfless, and I felt that with every single artist that we used. Another cool thing about this album is that we have artists that may not have ever done a conscious record. But what I wanted to do is say, hey, look, if you've ever had anything to say, if you ever wanted to stand up, if you ever wanted your voice to be heard in this arena, we're gonna give you a platform to do it. And so I honestly feel like we allowed some of these artists to say things that they've been wanting to say for years, but just never really had the platform to do it. You know, obviously when you have a lot of artists and you want them all to be as close to on message as possible, you could run the risk of having repeats of the same type of song. And the way we overcame that was just basically allowing the artist to do whatever they wanted. You know, watch the film, how did you feel? Whatever that feeling is in your stomach right now, put that on wax. They come back with something that would be spot on.
The Birth of a Nation, the Inspired By album, featuring new and exclusive music from Nas, Lil Wayne, 2 Chainz, and more. The Inspired By album, available now.